Hello everybody, this is Kyle Speed One, not coming to you from the racetrack, but from the work table. Yeah, over here we have the Monogram Cobra Daytona. Excellent little car, runs great. Nicely detailed. Got the driver and windshield, and it's got all that neat stuff on there. It's got the spare tire in the back. Well, I had come across something relatively cheap, and I couldn't help myself but go ahead and provide the funds to purchase it, and it's this setup here, which is another Cobra Daytona. And I just got through painting it red, and I put a couple of coats of clear coat on it, and painted several of the items on it, like the latch and the vent grill and the push button there for opening the doors, and this little vent area here. And it's got, right now it's got one coat of clear coat on it. And I painted the front radiator, which will go right in here. I painted that with that, I think it's called MRP chrome paint, which I like the way that stuff finishes. But yeah, I painted the wheels white instead of the gunmetal gray, with the chrome trim still around the wheel, which was very taxing on my eyes. Here we have the exhaust, and those are the forearms of the driver that I've got painted up right now, but it's drying. Here's the driver's area with the spare seat and its belt buckle system and spare tire and fire extinguisher. It's got the handbrake. It's got the gear shift knob. I just rudimentarily painted the gauges because you can't, with the glass in there, you really can't see the gauges all that well. Yeah. You really can't see them all that well, so you know, lucky for me. But for right now, and there's the back half of the car. Goes back here in the back. Yeah, Revell Monogram. Or maybe it's just Monogram. I know the two were in cahoots there for a while, making stuff together. Cobra Daytona Coupe. And the other thing I've got to look for now is, you notice the motor area is actually here and here. So I'm going to have to get a motor that has the shaft pointing the right direction. Then I'm going to have to take another shaft and press a pinion on it and join the two shafts, the motor shaft and the extension shaft, along with the bearing that goes in here. I'm going to have to look for those parts. I I guess in the meantime, if I wanted to, I could just exchange bodies out on this chassis here, and that would be fine. But I would eventually like to get this, since it's mostly complete, I'd like to get this chassis working. But it needs some parts, and I'll have to see what I can source and get going on it. But for right now, I'm waiting on the decals so I can put the decals on, give it another 2 coats of clear, then I can start adding all the chrome and the headlights and the headlight bezels and all the other detail, and glue the interior pieces in, and get those all secured, and that'll pretty much finish up the model. Now, the last thing I have is, remember, I don't know if you do remember. If you don't, that's okay. It's no big deal. I had a spare body of a Carrera 1/32 scale Ferrari 512 BB. Excuse me. And I probably am committing sacrilege, but I'm trying to do things, I don't know if I'd call it cheap, but cost effective. You know, in other words, I'm using paint that I've already got in stock. It's good paint. It sprays well. And you probably won't ever see this, but that's right. I painted a Ferrari BB in Gulf Oil Company colors. There's the back of it. And I'm basically waiting on the decals for it. They're supposed to show up any day now. But yeah, I used the Tamiya masking tape. Let's see. I used the Tamiya masking tape to tape off the orange part, which worked. You know, the Tamiya paint, if you're not familiar with it, it's worth the purchase. Even though it's expensive, it's worth the price, because I've never had bleed through with the Tamiya paint, and modelers have been using it for a long time, whether it's airplanes or cars or helicopters or boats or whatever they're working on. But yeah, there's my Gulf Oil livery. Ferrari 512 BB. And I still have all the parts. Hopefully it'll look as good as this one here. And I'll have a spare body that I can swap out on that chassis when I need to, or when I want to. But basically, that's what it's just a nice quiet day, and I'm just tinkering, keeping my hands busy. I'm liking how it's coming along. There's the steering wheel. There's the driver's head that I haven't painted yet. So I'm just going to keep on keeping on today, and hopefully my decals will show up here pretty soon, and I can finish this body out. In the meantime, I'll just have to stay with this one. Isn't that a shame? But that's all I got for you now. I'll give you further updates as I go along, but I thought I would share some of the process that I've done after giving this one an alcohol bath and getting that Pioneer livery off of it and scuffing up the plastic and then spraying it with the Gulf blue and then spraying it with the Gulf orange. And basically that's how I got to that point. That isopropanol alcohol works pretty good on some of this paint. Comes off fairly easy. But that's all I got for now, I think. Like I said, I'll give you an update as work progresses. And God bless you and take care. Bye.